It was legend.
Wait for it.
Dairy. Legendary.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Steel Sanctuary Legendary NFL Picks. As you can see on the screen if you're watching, David's got a crown as his background, and he's still in first place. But the nonsense stops here because we're gonna overcome him. He's coming off a bad week. He already lost on Thursday night, the only one that picked the Ravens. So he's 0-1 to start this week. We're already off to a good start, Dave.
First off, I got the pick right. Just that stupid spread.
They barely won. They barely won.
Spreads are killing. Money line, I'm on, baby. I'm on.
That's true. That's true.
Because
I heard
last week, I had a losing record in quotations, but money line, I still had 10 picks right.
I heard Kaboli this afternoon on the PM team. He was complaining that he thought, he wasn't complaining. He said Al Michaels sounded like he had the Bengals on the money line, as upset as he was.
There's no doubt that Al Michaels bets on these games, right? There's just no doubt.
Probably.
He's always on the point spreads and talking about stuff, and you could tell his mood changes a little bit if the team he seems to be wanting to win doesn't come through. So yeah, he's definitely.
I guess he figures. Yeah, I figures he's old enough at this point. He doesn't really care.
Yeah, what are they going to do?
All right. Yeah, exactly. He's still one of the best announcers too. Even at his age, he's still one of the best ones.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's jump right in. Giants are 6.5-point dogs against the Carolina Panthers. This game's in Germany. Dave, you want to kick us off? King of the picks.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, if you stop Hubbard, you stop the Panthers. It's all they have. They're injured, a lot of injuries. The Giants, for the most part, if I remember correctly, are healthy for the most part. So I think they actually will cover the 6.5. Giants win.
I think Slayton is out, but otherwise they're healthy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Slayton is out with the concussion. Bob, what do you got? You gonna agree with the King here, or?
The Giants play so much better on the road, and I guess we can call Germany the road game. I heard something about this game. This is the worst thing we've done to Germany since World War II by sending the Giants and Panthers over there. I like Malik Neighbors and Danny Dimes to have a pretty good game here. I think the Panthers, last time they won a game, they went off on a 5-game losing streak. I think they'll do it again. So yeah, I'm taking the Giants and laying the points.
Yeah, I'm going to make it unanimous. I think the Giants win this one. The Panthers are done. They're just the worst team in football. It's not. I don't even think it's close. All right, what do we got next? The Buffalo Bills are traveling to Indianapolis. They're giving the Colts 4 points. It's Joe Flacco, I believe, for the rest of the season, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, Bob, kick us off. What do you got?
I mean, I don't see any way the Colts, especially as bad as they played last week. I think they'll be better this week, but my understanding is there's a better than average chance Pittman isn't going to play. I
believe Pittman's out officially.
Yeah, he's already officially out.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills in the points here. I don't see how the Bills are on a little bit of a roll. This was almost my lock of the week, but I'm
with Bob.
To be Smooth Jimmy's lock of the week.
Ooh, that's a big lock, all right.
I'm doing it. I'm taking the Bills.
Nice.
Bills lock of the week for Bobby. Dave, you agree? 4 points doesn't scare you?
Look, no Pittman. Flacco looked his age last week in that game. He did not look good. The Bills, they should have Coleman or Cooper back, I think.
They're both questionable.
They're both questionable. So Shakir has been playing really good for them, actually. Yeah. So I think it's enough with Cook and Allen and Kincaid. It's enough. They'll cover.
Buffalo's the second best team in the AFC. They're gonna stomp the Colts. I think the Colts stink. So that's Jesus. 2 unanimouses in a row. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Next one up.
The night is young, my friend. The night is
young. The night is young. The Minnesota Vikings are traveling to Jacksonville. They're giving the Jaguars 6.5 points. What do we think here, guys? Bob, kick us off with this one.
When this line was 7 and 7.5, I was strongly considering the Jaguars, but at 6.5, yeah, I think the Vikings cover here. I think they're a touchdown better than the Jaguars. Jaguars really laid it all on the line with the big comeback last week and kind of their last gasp for the season. I guess mathematically they're still alive, but at this point, I just think the Vikings are clearly better, and I think Brian Flores is going to give Trevor Lawrence fits. And the Vikings, I'm going to lay the points and take the Vikings.
I read something today that Trevor Lawrence is questionable, might not
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah,
I didn't even know he was
the whole
hurt.
offense is banged up. The wide receivers, the running back,
Etienne and Bigsby are both questionable. Yeah.
Dude, like the whole damn lineup's banged up for offense.
I was going through the Jaguars schedule, and they played some close games. They've been pretty competitive, but with all these injuries, they lost to Philly by 5, the Packers by 3, and they only lost to the Texans by 4. So they've been semi-competitive this year. But with all these injuries, I got to go with the Vikings here.
Yep, same.
So all three of us.
Yep.
Jesus Christmas, we're all
gonna have to go out on a limb to catch him.
Yeah, we're gonna have to start doing something here. Next up, the Atlanta Falcons are traveling to New Orleans to play the Saints. They're giving the Saints 3.5 points. Dave, kick us off with this one. What do you think?
You guys go ahead from here on out. I'll just go last.
Oh, you're going to try to – yeah, we know what you're up to.
I'm just joking. The Falcons. I mean, the Saints, no, they traded away Lattimore. Olave's not playing. They looked horrendous last week. They lost to the Panthers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's pretty bad.
That's bad. So, I'm going to go ahead and say the Falcons here cover, win, no problem.
This was almost my lock of the week. I mean, they traded Lattimore away. They fired their coach. The Saints are a train wreck. They only lost by 2 to Atlanta in Atlanta last time. That scares me a little bit. I'm going to take the Falcons, but it's not a lock for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it another clean sweep. I'm with undefined here.
Yeah,
I don't see any way this game is close. You lose to the Panthers, it's a wreck. I think there's a chance they could cut Derek Carr before the season's over. That's how bad it is. Falcons win this going away, even though It is a divisional matchup, but 3.5 is not enough for me to go. If this was 7, I might be like, maybe a backdoor cover, but no, not 3.5.
Yeah, it's unanimous. I'm taking the Falcons as well. I just don't see a path for the Saints to win this game. I can't even picture it. All right, next up, the Denver Broncos traveling to Kansas City. They're getting 7.5 points. Bob, what do you think?
You know what? I'm doing it. I'm taking the Broncos and the points because the Chiefs just don't play, and the Broncos are coming off a pretty bad performance. I think they'll play better here, and I think they'll find a way to keep it close. I don't think they're going to win, but I think they'll cover.
Oh boy, I feel the same. I'm taking the points. Look, the Chiefs have only scored more than 7 points than their opponents. Have only beaten them by 7 points or more twice.
I was going to say,
there's only 2 times they've only been ahead over 7 points against their opponents this year. That's it. Yeah, they're undefeated, but man, it hasn't been great when it comes to spreads. Let me put it that way. So, I mean, this is a division game as well. So, I'm going to go ahead and take the points on this. I think it'll be close. I think of course, it'll be by 7. So you just missed the spread like they've been doing to me. Yeah. So, take the points.
All right. Screw this. I was going to take the Broncos, but I'm tired of this agreeing bullshit. I'm going to take the Chiefs at home to cover this spread.
I like it.
Even Undefined had the Broncos, so you guys, you're all wrong. Next one up. The New England Patriots are getting 6 points in Chicago. Dave, what do you think? I picked the Bears 2 weeks in a row, and they screwed me 2 weeks in a row. I don't know if I can do it again.
This is going to be my lock of the week.
Oh, let's do it.
Hit it.
It'll be Smooth Jimmy's lock of the week.
Ooh, that's a big lock, all right.
That putrid offense of the Pats going against the Bears defense is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, look what they did to hold Jaden Daniels to. right? If not for a Hail
Mhm.
Mary touchdown, they win the game. So I think it's going to be rough. So I think 6 points. I'm going to go ahead and take it. I think they cover,
Bob,
and it's the luck.
you agreeing with him too?
I don't like either one of these teams.
Take the Pats then. I mean,
I mean,
take Pats. Live dangerously.
honestly,
Why not?
I really don't think the Bears are very good. I just don't, and I don't think the Patriots are very good. But I think maybe Drake May wins the battle of the rookie quarterbacks. I'm gonna take the points in the Pats.
That a boy. That a boy.
What do I do here? What do I do? This
Here,
one's
friend
had me
Dave.
conflicted.
Join Bob and jump off the bridge. Go right ahead.
I can't do the Patriots on the road. I can't. As much as I'd like to. I was looking at it. The Bears have the Vikings, Lions, and Packers coming up. This is definitely a game they could be looking past. But yeah, Patriots on the road. Don't get these. Oh my God. I'm about to throw up here with this crown thing. I'm taking the goddamn Bears. Next up, if there is a God, we're going to put a stop to this immediately.
Well, you really need to catch up, so good luck.
San Francisco 49ers are traveling to Tampa Bay. They're giving the Buccaneers 7.5 points. Dave, kick us off.
Oh, it jumped to 7.5.
Yes, it did.
Man, now when it was 6.5, I felt good about them winning by a touchdown, but 7.5, man. So here's the thing: CMC is back, should be back. Baker Mayfield's banged up with a bad toe. No wide receivers. I would think at 6.5, I had the 49ers covering. 7.5 though gives me some undefined. I mean, that really is a good point, basically.
Yeah, CMC plays. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here. I'll still say they cover. If CMC's back, that's a huge shot in the arm. Kittle's playing. They got Pearsall. Deebo Samuel, is he going to play? I think he's
I
questionable.
think he's questionable, but he probably plays.
So they got Pearsall. Pearsall's a good young rookie wide receiver. He's showed, glimpses, if you will. Deebo, Kittle, CMC, yeah, screw it. They cover.
Bob, what about you?
7.5 point home dog. I'm all over the Bucks here. I like the Bucks. I mean, they could have beat Kansas City. They probably should have beat Kansas City on Monday night. Yeah, I like this. I think Sterling Shepard and Baker have a nice little thing going. I think Cade Otton is going to have a big game. If Bucky Irving sits, which is possible, I think this could be Rachaad White's breakout game. Which, it's weird because he was supposed to be the starter and he's kind of, morphed into this, trio. But yeah, I'm all over this. Yeah, home dog 7.5 points. Oh yeah, I'm on the Bucks.
In Bob's defense, I think he's actually got cleared today. I think he was a full participant in practice.
Who, Bucky Irving?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. It's tough. I really don't blame Bob, to be honest with you.
All right, this is my
Smooth Jimmy's Lock of the Week.
Ooh, that's a big lock, all right. But
I'm taking the 49ers. This is easy. They're coming off a bye.
Easy.
The Buccaneers are coming off a short week. CMC might play. Baker Mayfield was hurt this week. He just returned to practice today. He's got some kind of toe injury. I'm taking the 49ers as my lock of the week.
Nice.
How do we?
David, your lock was the Bears again, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Next up, the Tennessee Titans are going to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. They're getting 7.5 points. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, the Titans away game. Will Levis is back to starting. There ain't no way.
That's all you need to say. That's enough said.
I look, as long as the Chargers defense is healthy, they're going to kill you.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think Khalil Mack was questionable, but
yeah,
that's
they've got a lot of questionable tags, but I think they're going to play. So I just don't see it. I really don't.
Ooh, undefined stake in the Titans.
It's an interesting pick. The Mason Rudolphs, they looked pretty good last week.
Well, the Will Levises are not looking so great. So.
Yeah, it's a big number for the Chargers. And
It is.
I looked back. I didn't think they beat teams but they did. They've beaten teams by double digits.
Yeah, they have
4 or 5 times this year. So
yeah, they have.
They're capable of it.
I did the same thing, Dave. I was like, let's see if
They beat the Browns by like 27 last week, right?
Yeah, they have. When their defense is healthy, man.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Chargers in the points. I don't feel great about it, but Chargers at home. I think the Titans. That was a product of the Patriots. I just don't see them being that good. I'm taking the Chargers.
I'm going to take the Chargers too. If it was Mason, maybe I'd think about taking the points. But if it's Will Levis, he's going to turn the ball over at least.
I completely agree.
times.
By the way, I'm the same way. If it was Mason playing, I'd be tempted to take the points. I really would.
Because he's conservative. He doesn't turn the ball over. He'll keep it close. Will Levis is going to chuck it all over the field. All right, next up, the Philadelphia Eagles are giving the Dallas Cowboys 7.5 points at home. David, start us off.
I almost made this my lock of the week.
I almost did too.
The Dallas injuries are killing them.
Prescott's out, right?
They don't even got Prescott now.
Yeah.
Lamb's banged up. The Eagles are soaring, man. They've been putting up 25 plus last 2-3 games, convincing wins. Last week though, I think they barely won though. I forget who they faced, but the week before that they squashed the Bengals 37.
Was it Jaguars? They were up 22-0, and then
well, that's because their coach is an idiot. But when their coach decides to not be an idiot, they're going to win easily. So, I'm taking the Eagles cover.
Bob?
Cooper Rush is a little bit better than he gets credit for.
That's fair.
I'm so torn on this. I mean, the Eagles, that rivalry, they hate each other. So if the Eagles can run up the score on Dallas like the Lions did, I think they would do it in a heartbeat. If anybody on Dallas's defense was playing, I would be very tempted here. But I'm going to lay the points with the Eagles.
This should be a blowout, right? I can't fathom a way the Cowboys even keep this close without Dak Prescott, without all their defensive players. Yeah, it's Eagles. Should be big.
Should be.
Yep.
I would be surprised if it isn't.
All right, the New York Jets are going to Arizona to play the surprising NFC West leading Cardinals. They're giving the Cardinals 2 points. How? I don't understand this line at all. Dave, kick us off.
Yeah. Hey, this is you guys' chance because the Cardinals are on a 3-game winning streak. I think Dave just brought that up. And it's been against some stingy defenses. So it's not like it's a fluke against soft defenses. So I think you think about the Jets. Yeah, they beat the Texans, but the Texans were limping into that game. No Diggs, no Dell, or not Dell, the other one, Nico Collins. They didn't have him either. So I think, honestly, if the Cardinals focus on stopping Mixon and if they keep doing what they're doing on offense, I think they're going to upset the Jets here and win.
Bob, you agree?
Really?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind?
Okay, look, the Cardinals last week rushed for touchdowns. They had a great game running the ball. Kyler Murray was trash last week.
He was.
Absolute trash. And I don't see a trip with Sauce Gardner, Hassan Reddick as getting them back on track. I think Reddick's going to be fired up. I think that the Jets keep very slim playoff hopes alive here. I like the Jets on this one.
Yeah, you know what, Bob?
The Jets are going to jet.
That's true.
There's always that possibility.
The only hard and fast rule than Jets are going to jet is the Cardinals are going to Cardinal.
We'll see. We'll see, my friend.
I kind of like the Jets here too, just because of the defense. I think they're going to shut the Cardinals down. I think they cover too. I don't feel great about that one, but I had a hard time with this one, to be honest. This was a tough one.
If it was at the Jets, I would take the Jets.
Yeah,
That's
that would
only,
be
that's the
an
only
easy one.
reason why I think we might have an upset special on our hands here.
The Jets going cross country with that coaching staff scares me.
Yeah. Well,
You
look,
know.
this is you guys' chance. Hey, it's another game you guys can catch me in.
I
Yeah, I'm
just,
gonna go ahead, Bob.
yeah, I just don't think. I mean, the Cardinals have gotten by with some really wacky wins. They're in every game. I'll give them that, and they beat some teams I didn't think they could beat. But this is the season. The Jets cannot lose another game
Yeah,
like this to the Cardinals. I mean, they might be able to lose a game again to a heavyweight down the road and still make the playoffs. But if they have any chance, and Aaron Rodgers, when his teams have been what looked what looked to be way out of it, usually plays pretty well.
yeah. All right, so we're taking the Jets, and Dave's taking the Cardinals on that one.
Yeah.
Next up, Sunday Night Football. The Detroit Lions are going to the Houston Texans, and they're giving the Texans 3.5 points. My Detroit Lions. I'm taking them. I don't think they lose another game this season.
Your
They have
Detroit
been-
Lions. What are we doing?
Yeah, that's my Super Bowl pick. That's my de facto team. Yeah, Will Anderson's out, I think, and Damian Pierce is questionable. No Nico Collins again. The Lions should rout this one. I'm taking the Lions. Bob, what do you think?
What you really wish that there weren't so many injuries on the Texans here, because I think this would be a fantastic game if they were fully healthy. I know I guess there's an outside shot Nico Collins plays, but I just can't say. I mean, you've got to score so many points to keep up with Detroit, and Houston's kind of out of sorts right this second. I'm gonna take the Lions. If this were just a little bit bigger number, I might be tempted, but not at 3.5.
Dave?
Yeah, the spread's actually pretty nice for the Lions. Like it's an easy pick for me. Like
Almost
Lions
suspiciously nice, right?
right. It's like, really? Oh, okay. So literally everything you guys mentioned is what I was thinking. They're banged up. They ain't gonna be able to keep offensively. Lions win, cover with ease, since it's only 3.5. I mean,
Yeah. All right, Monday Night Football. The Miami Dolphins go cross country to play the Los Angeles Rams. The Dolphins are getting 1 point. Dave, kick us off. What do you think?
yeah. Look, the Rams attack is on offense is back, baby, and the way the Dolphins defense gives up big plays, that's where I think the difference in this game is going to be. I mean, you saw the Rams go up against these other teams that were good teams with good defenses, but they still had big plays and they won the game because of it, right? So I think the Rams win this. It's going to be close. That's why you see the spread the way it is. But I think the Rams have a big play, and that's why they win.
Bob, what do you think?
I think if Tyreek Hill doesn't play in this game, it could get really, really ugly. And
yes, I forgot to
there's
bring it up.
Yeah, and he didn't practice on Friday. I mean, it's a risk, so I guess he could still play. And I mean, it's not like he's a vet. It's not like he needs to practice on Friday to play.
Right.
But, I mean, I think I was watching Dominique Foxworth on Dan Patrick this morning, and he was talking about how he thought players were easing up for the Bills on Tua, that they didn't want to end his career. I don't think they're particularly mercenary, but you're playing on turf. I mean, or I guess it's natural grass, but it says stadium grass. I mean, I don't know. I think
Bob's analyzing the grass here.
I don't think the Rams, who are in a much different situation than the Bills, that Rams have to win, and I think they just get fat and happy on the Dolphins here. I think this line is way too low. I mean, I would have still taken the Rams out to 4 or 5 points.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Dolphins are cooked. They've lost 3 in a row. They're out of the playoffs. They're going cross country. Tyreek Hill's probably already checked out. This Rams are going to win by 2 touchdowns in this game. This
Could
could
have
get ugly
traded him
really
to
fast.
Pittsburgh.
They should have.
Wish
They
it
would
would.
listen to me. We'd be Super Bowl bound right now, but that's another story for another day. Speaking of those Steelers, getting 3 points in Washington for playing the Commanders. I think we all made our predictions on the last podcast. I believe I had the Steelers 20. I don't remember what I said now. 20-13, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, 20-14. 20-14.
20-14. Bob, what was your prediction for this game?
I thought it was 29, going to be 29-20. It would be close late, halfway through the fourth quarter, like 22-20. And then they would win, with a late touchdown. Daniels would make a mistake at some point. So, yeah, I Steelers getting 3 points. I love this line. So, yeah, I'm very happy with Steelers +3.
Now, with Brian Robinson out since the last time we talked, and their left tackle is out now too, it seems even more guaranteed, more in the Steelers' favor. Dave, what did you pick again for people who didn't listen last time?
I think I have the Steelers winning. I think I said 28-21. I think I had.
Yeah.
Because Bob, you and I was similar. Didn't you like 29-20 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm 28-21 Steelers. Look, the Commanders, as I put out there yesterday, have not beat really anybody that's serious contender. Steelers are 13-4 under Tomlin coming off the bye week. That's pretty good. We are relatively getting everybody back minus Herbig. They did announce today that he's out as well. But still, we are relatively very healthy on both sides of the ball. So I think that this is – do I want to say this is like a trap game for Jaden Daniels and them? Is that the right word to use? But, I mean, we're 6-2, so we're nothing to sneeze at. So, but I don't know. This to me, the line, everything. I think the Steelers win me $300.
Yeah, Dave's got some his own Davey dollars on this.
I bet $300 to win $600 something. So, yeah.
The only thing that worries me, and I forgot to bring this up on the podcast, Cliff Kingsbury being the offensive coordinator for the Commanders. Tomlin seems to struggle against these young, innovative offensive coordinators. We saw it against Houston and a couple other teams. And Dan Quinn's no slouch as a defensive coach either, as the head coach.
No,
they've got a good coaching staff. That scares me a little bit. If Brian Robinson and the left tackle were playing, I'd be really, really nervous about this. But with those two guys out, I almost hate to say it, but the Steelers should win this one fairly comfortably. But we know how that goes, guys. Whenever we think it's one thing with this team, they surprise us.
Well, remember, they had the Steelers as the underdog against the Jets, too. I think it was -2. Jets were favored. And it had the same feel to it. It was just like, really? Like, okay. Like, I don't know what really makes you think that, and the Steelers pulled through. So that's what I think of this game too, really.
I understand today the Steelers are 7-0 in their last 7 weeks off the bye. Scares me a little. 25-6 overall, Tomlin against rookie quarterbacks. But that being said, I think Washington's too hurt. They're going to be able to double McLaurin. I just, Jaden Daniels is a good story. I think it'll be close, all the way up into the fourth quarter. I just think the Steelers will figure out a way to win a close game and pull out to 2 scores right at the end.
Oh, I said 20-17 because I said Boz was going to kick a last-second field goal. No, I remember. I think it might be a little bit more than that now with Brian Robinson out, but we'll see. I thought to make this a little fun for Steelers fans, we do some Steelers props. We'll rattle through these pretty quick. The first one I want to start with is the over-under on this game is 45. What do you guys think? Over-under on this game?
45, huh? Trying to do the math in my head here because I had it, 28-21?
Yep.
So
that's 49.
We both had the same point total.
Yeah.
49,
so, Yeah, so over.
Yeah, I like the over here too. I think, I think Daniels will move the ball on our defense. I was more worried about Robinson running the ball. Austin Eckler is no slouch, though. We've struggled against him in the past.
Yeah.
So, I think they move the ball. I like the over here just because I think, Daniels will figure out a way to score a touchdown or two.
I'm going to go under. That was my prediction score, and I think this will stay under. Najee Harris. I put this at 105 yards because all three of us agreed that he'd go over 100. So I wanted to make this a little bit more difficult. Dave, what do you think? Over under 105 from Najee?
I think he goes over. I think you said they were second in the most yards given up,
Yes.
right? So
Yes.
in theory, I would think that Najee's going to get fed the ball and probably have around 115 like usual.
Rob, you agree?
Well, actually, I did not have Najee over 100.
Okay.
You're confusing me with Zach.
Okay.
So
Sorry about
yeah,
that.
I'm definitely going under here. I think only because I think this will be more of a Jalen Warren game and Cordarrelle Patterson is back. So I don't know that Najee gets enough carries. I think he'll still be effective, but I think he'll be effective more to the tune of 80 yards on, 12 to 15 carries. I think we'll see Jalen get 6 or 7 carries in this game. And Cordarrelle Patterson, Arthur Smith loves him. He's going to poach some carries. So I expect him to carry the ball 4 or 5 times.
I'm going to go over. I think Najee has a monster game here. I just think this lines up really well for him. He might have 100 on 15, 16 carries, and that'll be it. And I'll take him out after that. Next up, newly acquired Mike Williams, over under 3 catches for Sunday. What do you guys think?
Under.
3?
Yeah, 3.
I think he gets 3. So
3 targets.
yeah, I'm going to go under with 3 being the tie in the wash. So yeah, I don't think he catches 4 passes.
Typically, wide receivers in their very first game with the team that week, the preparation, and I just don't. They usually don't do that. When you saw Deontay Johnson the last 2 weeks with the Ravens, he hasn't done jack shit.
He's already. Did you see? He's tweeting stuff out already. He's already not happy in Baltimore.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Barr is not happy with him. I can tell you that. I mean, you can see it on
what?
when
I didn't know there's drama already. Good Lord, this guy is something.
He is something, isn't he?
When he fell down, yeah, you could see it. Like Lamar was pissed.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to go on to 3 catches too. You guys know I didn't like the trade. I don't really love the player. I don't think he's going to do much. So for me to go and say he goes over 3 in his first game would be kind of contradictory.
Can you please be more positive, Dave? Jesus.
I actually think he'll impact the game because, let's face it, if you're not George Pickens, if he catches 2 or 3 passes, gets 40, 50 yards, I'd be pretty happy with that. I do expect that, they'll throw him a couple of back shoulders and we'll see what he's got.
I wanted to bring this up in the pod and I forgot. Is this Steelers offense going to turn into the 2012 Ravens where they're just hucking up moon balls for PIs and big plays and the rest of it, rely on the defense and the run game?
It's nice to see them catch up with the rest of the league.
I mean, with Mike Williams and George Pickens, there could be worse strategies, right? Just throw it up.
Dude, teams are still doing that. The Rams do it. The Chiefs do it. 49ers do it. Teams still do that. They'll go deep, just praying they get some kind of penalty, and half the time it works.
You throw a couple. If you think about if let's say Russell Wilson and Mike Williams works, it's not going to be spectacular. It's not going to be no 1,000-yard or 500-yard second half. But if let's just say 2 or 3 times a game, he does catch 15, 20-yard passes, and we know what George Pickens can do. Now all of a sudden, if teams go cover 2 on us and both safeties kind of slide out to help on Williams and Pickens, I could see Calvin Austin feasting on deep posts because I don't think a slot corner is going to be able to run with them. And if they don't have safety help over the top, we could get a couple cheapies.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Agreed.
Coached properly, even a quick slant, get him a couple steps and watch him go. I guess there is a world where Mike Williams plays well and this goes well. It's just, you're asking for an awful lot. You're really an optimist if you think this thing's going to work out. Well, let's move on. One
thing I would say real quick is going well to me is 2 to 4 catches a game with more effective. I am not expecting him to be a real number 2 wide receiver. I just think he's better than what we got. Very low bar, but he's better than what we got.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, you're right. If he's healthy, he's better than Van Jefferson for sure. All right, Jaden Daniels, over under 230 yards passing. I looked at his passing yard. He's only got a couple of big games passing. So does he go big over the Steelers or no?
Well, we gave up 264 to Danny Dimes. So
That's right. I had forgotten about that. I blocked it out actually.
I think I could make an argument that the Giants wide receiver core is currently better than the Commanders.
I don't think you're wrong, Bob. Honestly,
They got
Like,
McLaurin,
overall,
and
you're right.
that's about
It.
it.
The
Yeah.
Giants have neighbors,
Slayton.
Slayton and Robinson. Is that it?
Yeah, Wandale Robinson.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wandale Robinson.
Well,
Yeah,
I think he's really good.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all.
So you going under?
No, over.
You going over 230 for Jaden Daniels? What about
Defense
you, Bob?
bends but doesn't break.
I'm going to say under 230 on the passing. Now, if you told me you were going over under on like 260, including rushing, I'd say over. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think he comes in, right at 200, maybe 210, 220. I do think he's going to rush for some yards here. We do good against scrambling, that kind of quarterback, but I do think he'll get loose a couple of times. I mean, especially no Herbig. I would love to see Herbig in this game because he has the speed. Not that TJ and Alex are slow or Preston Smith is slow, but Nick Herbig is a pure speed rusher. I'd like to see that matchup.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm going to go over. I think he slings it around a little bit. Speaking of that, Bob, I have Jaden Daniels under over 50 yards rushing. He's only gone over this twice this season. He had 88 yards rushing last week.
Ooh, 50 is kind of a big number. I'm going to say under on 50, but I'm going to be sweating it. I have a feeling towards the end.
Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he gets over. I do, unfortunately.
I think he gets over. I'm torn on this
Yeah.
one. If he
They're
goes, I had him going
spread-
over passing. If he goes over both of these, then we're in trouble, I think.
If
I don't know
they're
if my
gonna spread
prediction's
us
going to come.
out, have guys go deep, it's going to open up the middle for him to take off. That's the way I look at it. We got to hope we get
Yeah.
pressure on him, but I still see.
I
him
think I'm going to
taking
go
off.
over too.
Yeah,
I-
if he rolls to McLaurin's side, it'd be a little scary because
Yeah,
he's
good
going to
point.
draw
Yeah.
attention there.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
point.
All right, so the Commander's left tackle is out, so I did Highsmith over under 1.5 sacks. Highsmith usually feasts on bad tackles, so this should be a good game for him.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I'm going to say under. I think he's going to get a ton of pressure because he had 11 pressures last week. But I think this will be a game where I expect to see Preston Smith subbing in for Highsmith, even though I would like to see him subbing in for TJ a little bit more. So I'm going to go under. I don't think he's going to have a bad game or anything. I just, maybe one sack. He'll be an impact in the running game. I think he'll have some pressures. Jaden Daniels is hard to get on the ground.
That's a good question. It was Preston Smith. I wonder if Preston Smith was better from his right side or left side.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't know either. I think from the video I saw it was left side that mostly he came from. So it's a good question, Bob. Like I don't know.
He's going to play both, I think, especially this week with Herbig
I
out.
hope-
He's going to probably go back and
Like
forth.
Bob said, I do hope they do give TJ spell him a little bit to give him, I want him to be fresh when he's out there. There ain't no doubt. So I don't know. It really sucks that Herbie's not playing though. I was really hoping he played.
What do you got, Dave? Highsmith under over 1.5.
I'm gonna say 2 sacks. I think he gets 2 sacks. I think that they're gonna be so worried about TJ. I mean, 12 pressures in a game. Normally that would end up being like 2 sacks. So
Yeah.
I think he gets 2 sacks this game.
Yeah, I think he does too. I think he's going to get 2 with this backup left tackle. I think he's going to feast on that. What do I have next? I got a fun one here. Broderick Jones over under 2.5 penalties / sacks given up. What do we think? I had to give a little to Broderick Jones. I had to.
I mean, with the way the referees are, I mean, if you watched the Bengals game last night, oh my God,
Yeah.
I would say that's the worst game I've ever seen as
It's
far
bad.
as referees go.
It's
but
saying something too because we've seen some bad ones.
They
Yeah,
handed
I mean-
the Ravens that game last night. That was ridiculous.
look,
100%.
I understand you
100%.
face mask Sam Darnold and get away with it. I don't agree with it. The referee's supposed to be watching the quarterback.
Right.
But we're talking about Joe Burrow.
Right.
I mean, if you miss a face mask and a shot to the head on Joe Burrow, and another egregious what I thought was
Late
roughing
hit.
the passer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you not protecting him all of a sudden? I mean, maybe because he looks a little too much like an Ellen DeGeneres. Maybe there's some, people who are upset with the cast, of Ellen DeGeneres still. I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, I think the refs look at Broderick a little too closely. Sometimes he's gotten some real cheapies. I'm going under. I don't see that the pass rush from Washington comes up the middle. Unless Luvu blitzes over Broderick a bunch of times, and I don't see that happening.
Where does Dante Fowler line up? Is he lined up on the left or the right? He's pretty good. He's got like 6.5 sacks, I think, this year.
I think there's a good chance he's not going to play, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, is he injured?
That's a good question. I thought I saw his name pop up too. I'm trying to see if I have his. I don't have their depth chart up.
I'm looking up their injury report now.
By the way, I think Broderick goes over on this one.
Questionable with a hammy.
Yeah. A hammy's, he probably doesn't play if it's a hammy.
Yeah, let's take a look if he practiced today.
Well, they didn't mention him as one of the guys out, so I guess it's still a possibility.
He's
actually
he's a Sam linebacker.
Yeah, on their injury report, they got him as a groin, and he full practice. So it looks like
all right. So he's going to play.
Yeah,
that's over.
He don't have. Yeah, he don't have. From what I'm seeing, he don't have any label whatsoever on the depth chart.
Yeah, I know there was a chance, but
yeah.
Dave, you going over or under?
He's usually good for one each, but that's not over 2.5. So he'll get 2 each, but not or 1 each, but he won't go over.
All right, I'm the only one going over. I'm surprised at that one.
Okay, undefined. Hold on 1 second. Undefined is saying Broderick's a bust.
Uh-oh.
Look, I'm gonna side with Dave on a Herbig trade if you don't take that back.
I'm out here on Herbig Trade Island all by myself, way out in the Pacific. All right, next one. We know how this offense kind of tends to stall at the red zone. So over under Chris Boswell kicking 2 field goals.
I'm over.
Yeah, I'm definitely over. I mean 29-20.
Yeah.
But Justin Tucker missing that extra point last night should really hammer home to the entire NFL. The best kicker, and I know Brandon Aubrey is good before anybody says it, Boswell's the best. He's just simply the best. The only field goal he missed was a 64-yarder. I love Boz. I mean, I just, I think the offense is better. I think it's not so much need. But Tomlin does get conservative when we get inside the 30. They don't play as aggressively as they could. I like Boz to kick 3 or 4 here.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you guys. At least 3 field goals in this game, possibly more. I got 2 more here. Jaylen Warren, under over 70 combined yards. He's been struggling. I looked at his stats. I don't think he's been over 60 this year in combined.
It's because Najee's doing so good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the truth. They haven't really needed him to be out there that much, which is really weird because he's usually considered one of their best playmakers, honestly, with the ball in his hands and open space on the screens. I don't know, man. I think he's under. I think he's still going to be under.
Bob, what do you think?
Well, I think losing the check down king Kenny Pickett, it really has hurt Jaylen Warren. The only thing, I will say this: Russell Wilson's checkdowns seem to go more to the tight ends, which I'm surprised about. I think there is opportunity in the second half as the schedule gets tough because we didn't overuse Jaylen. I like him in the screen game in the second half. It's something I desperately wish we would get back to. But yeah, I'm going to take over here because I think there'll be enough of a division of labor with Cordarrelle Patterson back.
So Jaylen Warren's high for receiving yards this year is 19 yards.
Yeah.
And his high for combined yards is 59.
Yeah.
He struggled, and we can't forget he was injured earlier in the season too, and
True.
we don't even know if he's still 100% healthy or not.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go under here. I wanted to, I'm the biggest Jalen Warren fan in the world, but he struggled this year. I don't know if it's still lingering or what. So I'm going to go under. Dave, you going under or over?
Under.
Under. All right, last one. I figured I'd have some fun with this one too. Mike Tomlin challenge wins for this week. I got it at 0.5. Does he win a challenge this week? I say absolutely fucking not. No chance.
No.
Is that for the season 0.5 or is that for this week?
I'd have to think about that one if it was even for the season.
That's a good point too. Yes.
My undefined says Mike Tomlin challenge was 15 in his career.
That's his
not
career,
a very good
I think.
record. Yeah.
No, that's not. He was at 40%. I looked it up. Just 40% for his career on
Jeez.
challenges, which is pretty horrendous.
Yeah.
So I'm going no.
Yeah, I agree. No, I mean,
Negative 15 is what he said.
oh yeah.
That's more like it. That's more like it.
I honestly don't understand. Well, I do. People always say, well, why doesn't he bring somebody in to help him with this? Because he wouldn't listen to him if he did.
Yeah.
He did one time.
I thought he did, and it just didn't go
He did
well.
one time, and then
He probably, because Bob's right, probably didn't listen to the guy.
Yeah.
If he did bring somebody in.
Yeah, and the Steelers are very analytic resistant. I mean, which goes back to Tomlin, for better or for worse, and for this year it's for better so far. I don't believe in analytics. I don't believe in anything. Just I want to go by the seat of my pants and let my players play.
Yeah, he's a gut feeling guy, and his gut feelings on some of these things have been terrible.
Yeah, it's been great.
But so far this year, it's been pretty good. I mean, except for
Yeah,
the
there hasn't
challenges.
there hasn't been many glaring Tomlin fuck ups yet this year.
Challenging a play
Knock
that
on wood.
Oh wait,
yeah,
first time.
challenging a play that had already been reviewed was pretty bad.
Especially when he's on the
Grand scheme.
rules committee and all that stuff. He should know better than to the competition committee or whatever the hell he's on. He should know that rule and not do something like that. But it is Mike Tomlin, so. All right, that's it. That's all I have. That was fun. We'll probably keep that a regular part of the podcast to keep the Steelers fans interested. You guys got anything else before we get out of here? Any new predictions? Anything we should know before we get out of here?
Patrick Queen, I think, is going to have a very good game this week. If they throw out an over/under for him for say 7.5 tackles, I would go the over on that. I wouldn't go much higher. I think he'll end up with 8 or 9, but I think we'll really start to see his value as a spy this week and something that'll preview what's to come in the Ravens games.
Dave, you got anything?
Nope.
Just gonna finish that cigar.
Yep.
All right. Thanks everybody for watching and participating. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the podcast or the YouTube channel. That really helps us out a lot. Keep those comments coming. Unrefined, again, thanks a lot for all these comments and all you other guys. Those comments really help us, even after the pod. If you listen to it again and you want to throw a comment on there, go for it. Until next time, thanks for listening to the Steelers Sanctuary podcast and legendary NFL picks.
You motherfucker! That is it!
That's it. What the fuck you talking about? That's it. Take it down, Danny.
Yeah. No more. No.